Yes, we're back. Sorry, everybody. Had a little bit of technical difficulties. I live in a place that's a little bit farther away, and kind of one of the things that people talk about these days is the lack of good internet capabilities in certain neighborhoods. So this is one of those things. This is another reason why we're here doing this. So again, I apologize for things blacking out there. Hopefully everybody jumps back on. If you don't jump back on, then hopefully I will. You'll be able to catch the videos when they're done because I post them right away to every place that I know to post them. And I thank you for hanging in there if you are still here or worse, are waiting for the malfunction to be fixed. Hi again. Yep, yep. I see you coming back in. I appreciate it. Again, I'm here. This is a purposeful thing for everyone to just learn how to communicate, to engage with each other, to ask questions, um, and I have no fear. I want to talk to everybody. I want to talk to every single person who is willing and wanting to talk to me, who wants to have their voice heard, who wants to have their express their views, their opinions, their life experiences. That's what this is all about. Again, sorry for the internet malfunction. I live in a place where sometimes the internet kind of sucks, so I'm sorry about that. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So again, don't worry about the glasses. It's because of my headaches. So pretty soon, I hope God will deliver those things from me, and then I won't have to do that. Sometimes I have the lighter tinted ones that I can use, but today the headache is full blown. Um, so we're gonna get to it, man. So I thanked some people earlier, and I'll thank you guys again. But I do really appreciate everybody who has taken the time to engage with other people of other walks, from other walks of experience and communities and so on. And I really appreciate that. I'm telling you that that is what is going to make everything start to move properly. Is when everybody learns how to engage, not just not just shooting insults and talking negative and derogatory things and all that. Not that part. The part where if I want to be heard, I'm going to express something to you, a thought. I'm going to express something that comes in my mind because of my experiences that I create. Sometimes on Facebook, we share posts and whatever, but I'm talking about, I want you guys to understand some things that are coming from me. And then when I have other things that I want to express, I'll give you the sites where I get them so that you can read it for yourself and you can come to your own conclusions and so on. But it is about engaging in the conversation. That's what Food for Action is. That's what this platform is. This is the live stream that God gave me, and I am using it in that way. That He wants me to bring a light, shine a light on everybody, but also main focus is white racism in America and how that since it when it began, since this country's quote unquote inception, how racism is just as much a part of the foundation as anything else that you believe is. And because of that, that is why there is a thing called systemic racism now. And, like I said, we can talk about everything that anybody wants to talk about at any time. You just shoot me some messages, let me know you're here, we can talk about it. I will do the research if I don't know now, or if you want to give me some knowledge, kick it on over here. That's what it's about. We can chop it up, no doubt. Now, one of the first things that I want to do, um, and again, let me know if the music is too loud in the background. It's just been too silent most of the time, and so it just feels good. I mean, everybody knows I do music. My whole family does music, so I had to put something in the background. It'll change every week until me and my little brother, my almost twin, until we come up with a theme song. But so one of the things that I wanted to talk about today, before I get into the real meat of everything, is um, so um, I commended everybody for joining in and talking to people like my nephew Carrie, CJ Morant, and Chris Stokes, and Paul Mint, and Knott, and I mean all the guys. So yeah, many people, and a couple of ladies. Oh wait, man, let me not forget because that would be too ill. for me to not mention uh, uh, hold on a minute. Oh, wrong post. Well, I'll find her. I'm gonna get her in here too because she was awesome. Uh, but uh, but I mean, so many people have joined in on these posts, and it's been really overwhelmingly lovely and awesome to see how see all of you guys, you know, joining in and not, you know, not we don't want to make this a war. But we want to communicate, man. I want to know. We have some people that ghost me, and I think that's what it's called again, something like that. No, not ghost. People that troll me. Yeah, that's it. Troll. Anyway, and those folks do that, and it gets to be a little crazy. And Marissa Malone, thank you. And, hold on, Jeff Relorda, thank you. And Brian Briz Gillis, oh my gosh, my dog from back in the day, Beantown. Oh snap, Orlando, Florida. What's up, brother? Yeah. So, man, oh my gosh, look at this. Oh my, man, so many people are joining in. It's amazing. Man, I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. Corey Powell. Oh my goodness. Man, I'm gonna have to spend like about 5 minutes just rolling through people. Donnie Browning, Sarah Browning. I gotta roll through some people. Um, but we gotta talk about this stuff. So we gotta get it in there. So, but listen, first and foremost, I wanna ask, but implore. When you come on here and you do engage with these people, if people start calling you names, if people start posting little gifts and this, that, and the other, and it's all negative, please follow my lead. Please follow my lead and don't give in to that. Don't let yourself give in to taking part in that, because it's not healthy. It's not going to solve the problem, and it makes both sides. It just makes everything get so convoluted, and the points get lost. So please, um, do me that favor. Corey Powell. So it says, white racist. I don't see them destroying billions of dollars of property, uh, attacking people in the streets. You got it all twisted, man. Well, let me tell you this, sir. So I don't have it twisted, Mr. Powell. Um, so racism, as we know, this country was built on the backs of black and brown people, um, minorities, um, and the lynchings and the cruel treatment, slavery, etc., was part of the foundation of this country. It was we weren't even human beings. There were no human beings. Anything that was dark was not considered human. And so when you're talking about destroying billions of dollars of property, yeah, there's some people out there that are doing stupid things. Surely are. White, black, Spanish, everything else. And those people should be punished for doing stupid things. That's not what this show's about. That's not what we're talking about here. That's not what the racism is that we're talking about. We're talking about the oppressive nature, the oppressive system that this country was built upon. Again, we weren't even considered humans until decades, centuries, times four, what? Plus. And we weren't even considered human beings. We were property. And we're still suffering from that. I still don't, it still baffles me how some people don't realize that where some things start. Oh, well, let me put it this way. This might make sense. You know how a lot of folks like to rally around the Confederate flag that started from the Confederate Army that was trying to hold on to this thing called slavery that happened way back there from the people that most of the time white people say, well, and not all, but a lot, believe me, a lot, say, well, uh, I'm not responsible for what my ancestors did, but I want to hold on to that heritage flag thing that means that stands for that. And so our laws and and every system, from, rather it be the judicial system, rather it's the justice system, rather it's the educational system, rather it's living, zoning, uh, you name it. If it exists as a system, it was started on the backs of on the deaths and murders of black people, and and that's why we still don't have an equal number of seats at the table in any of these systems. You can go through and figure out what the systems are, or we can talk about that if you want to come online, no problem. And so until that gets evened out, until that gets straightened out, then this racism thing, this systemic racism thing, it exists. You you need to study, and you need to understand it, own it, and help change it. Understand something. We didn't create that. Black people didn't create racism. Let's get it straight. Make it really, 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 really straight. Okay? Corey, I appreciate your comments. Please do me a favor. Check it out. Look up some stuff. We can do a thing. We can have a session. We can chop it up. I can have you on as a guest. And we can go through different things. We can go from here to there, from back in the beginning of time till whenever. Today, tomorrow, whichever day you want to jump on. It's not a problem. I would love that. That would be awesome. Okay. So, anyways, getting back to what I was saying is that so we're stuck kind of uh, in this thing where we get on and we're intending to do something wonderful by by standing up for ourselves on these Facebook posts and stems and whatever the heck else they're called. And we end up getting into these debates. And if you notice, I want everybody to please take my lead. Do not engage in the negative spewing out of things. Only speak facts. If you don't know facts, if you can't speak on your actual experience or facts that can be looked up and studied or referenced, then please don't engage so strongly, because that thing where that people do, either point, or from whatever point you come from, if you start spewing hatred, if you start spewing evil things, if it's not productive, if it's not for the sake of understanding a problem or a concern or an idea, concept, experience, then it's pointless to do that other stuff, name calling and all that. Don't stoop to that level. Do not do it. Please don't. At least on this platform, please don't do that. Please don't do the memes and the whatever else, all that stuff. Anybody else who wants to do that, have a blast. Go ahead and do it. Let people that are negative do negative things, and anybody who really wants to be positive and wants to join along and be a part of this thing, please, please, if you're watching this now, and if you watch it later, please don't feed into or buy into the negative speak. Make it all be constructive. Just like what I did with Mr. Powell, is that I tell him about things that exist, things that are, things that I've lived, things that I know. That's it. After that, I'll go to a resource, and if there's questions or if there's more dialogue that needs to be had. Anyways, so that's the first part. So, but I do want you to keep on engaging, because that's important. It's important to engage. Excuse me, let me get a sip of coffee. It's important to engage. Oops, I better hide that. I don't have a sponsor right here yet, but that's coming, by the way. But yeah. So but please, yeah, keep it all positive. Keep it all up and ups. Before I continue, I want to send a shout out to my little brother, my almost twin, Giovanni Morant and Kelsey Morant. Happy anniversary. Love you guys. I just sent them something right before I came on. I was at their wedding. I had the fortune, the blessed to be at their wedding. Just two beautiful people, two beautiful souls, two happy souls. They got two beautiful babies. Oh my gosh! Like look, like those babies are so beautiful. I could eat them. That sounds bad, but I could just like put them on a sandwich. They're just awesome. They're beautiful, beautiful babies. And I think it's kind of funny that this is happening now, because I think if we were to get all of our family together in one place, we would probably be we would probably be able to represent every single color on a human spectrum, like literally, and every different quote unquote ethnicity on a on the human spectrum with it exists within our family. How beautiful is that? Don't hate. Just saying, it's a beautiful thing. Let's see. So what else do we got to talk about? Okay, so so I made this post. Which you guys know. It was a very looked at post, and oh, I saw Jamari was on earlier. Hey, you better tell CJ to get on here sometime. Anyways, so let's see. I did this post. Oh wait, first before I get to that, oh my gosh, like I said, there's too much. I couldn't believe when I actually looked online after I got home. I had a doctor's appointment, and I got home and I saw these posts from President Trump, these tweets about he's happy to inform all of the people living in their suburban lifestyle dream. I don't know what the heck that means. That already is like makes you feel, a little bit dirty. But anyways, your lifestyle dream, that you will no longer be bothered or financially hurt by having low income housing built in your neighborhood. Hmm. Wonder what the heck that's supposed to mean. Yeah. So this is a president. I look. I when I grew up, I wasn't very political. I was just a musician and I was rocking the world, and I thought I was just giving back that way. But oh my goodness, I never thought I'd live to see some of this stuff. He had a follow up to that said your housing prices will go up based on the market and crime will go down. I have rescinded the Obama Biden AFFH rule. Enjoy! Exclamation point. So he's like grasping at every every racism straw that he possibly can in order to try uh, to I guess win some people back. I don't know. I mean, I've seen like millions of polls on the right side and the left side and the other side and the extreme this and extreme that and all kind of extremes, and I've only seen a few that were in his favor. I'm not a polling master, but I would say that with that many polls saying that, there's something awry. Anyways, yeah. So thank you for joining. Yep. Thank you. Okay. So one of the things that I want to talk about first, before we get deep, is that my brother Robert Big Bob Haldeman, he sent me, and he's been talking to folks online too, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty cool. But he sent me a thing from online where it's from ABC News in local news station in Charleston, that says that South Carolina removes the fewest Confederate symbols. And so what I did was I did some research behind the people why they made that, and I was already, being that it's from a news station, that pretty, in between sometimes, at least when I was living in South Carolina, it was, and so they kind of, you know, as fair as I guess fair can be. And so when I saw that, I wanted to kind of check it out. So I did. And what I found out was is that that oh, wow. What I found out was is that we have some crazy, ridiculous numbers. 98% of the monuments of Confederate symbols of different types. That means it could be statues, it could be plaques, it could be uh, you know any kind of monument of any kind, name on a building, whatever. all those things. 98% of them are still there. And then I went to do the research on this, and I found out that, let's see, the most Confederate symbols removed are in the states of California, Maryland, Oklahoma, Florida, District of Columbia, Missouri, Texas, North Carolina, Virginia. And let me say it this way. Surprising to me, the percentage-wise of remaining symbols, California, not surprising, was number one. They removed 91%. Maryland only has 3 left, 79%. Oklahoma, 12%, 33%. I'm sorry, 12 still left, 33%. Florida, 58 symbols left, 28% removed. District of Columbia, 9 remaining, 25% removed. Missouri, 19 remaining, 21% removed. Texas, 201 remaining, 17%. North Carolina, 151 remaining, 15%. Virginia, 229, 14% removed. And then, so we got the fewest symbol removals. The countdown goes like this. Kentucky, 37 remaining. Louisiana, 79 remaining. Alabama, 119 remaining. Georgia, 196 remaining. Which was only 6% of the ones that they had. Mississippi, 142 remaining, 5%. West Virginia, 21 remaining, 5%. Arkansas, 64 remaining, 4%. And, drum roll, South Carolina has 193 symbols remaining. That's statues, plaques, busts, names on things, so on. They only removed 2% of their Confederate symbols. Obviously, we know that the Confederate Army was built because they wanted to protect this system called slavery. They wanted that to remain a part of this Confederate, their whatever side of the world. They wanted that to stay, and all of that was verified from the company Been Verified, who is pretty well respected. They do everything from verifying people for all over the country, for major corporations, for jobs, when people go to fill out applications for jobs, when people go to for check cashing scenarios. I mean, they have so many arms of their thing. They have safety security measures for all kind of stuff, and they also do this now, doing different polls and things like that, which is a pretty helpful thing, I believe. So, anyways, yeah. So that was a very, very disturbing thing, being that I spent a lot of my life in South Carolina, and yeah, that went down that way. So let me get back to one of the more urgent matters. So I had been doing my research, and I stay up very, very, very late. I think like all of my family members, we all do that since birth. And we were probably the only kids on the block that we were performing at night as elementary school kids, and we were up till like 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Pretty interesting lifestyle. But anyways, and so I was doing some research, and I had done this post about this Alabama Republican lawmaker named Will Dismukes, or something like that. Anyways, and it was about the fact that he, on the day where we were, I would say, a great portion of America was honoring Representative John Lewis in Selma, Alabama. This senator, representative of folks, was praising the founder, or I'm sorry, not the founder, the first Grand Wizard of the KKK, in in that very same city of Selma, Alabama. That's what he was doing, while most people were respecting the life and the heroic efforts of Representative John Lewis. Um, I don't know what you think of that. I know what a lot of people think of it because between Facebook and between Facebook and Instagram, I had a heck of a lot of people commenting on that, and it seems like at least most of the America that I know uh, thought that that was pretty disgusting and pretty immoral. That's what this guy does, and apparently he's been called out for things before, and uh, and so I heard about him, but I didn't. I've been doing more of the paying attention to people that are close to me. Like I make sure that I'm looking at all my friends' sites, as many as I can get in, so I can see who are the folks that I need to know about if they are expressing racist sentiment and so on. And so I've been kind of looking for those people because I want to make sure that everybody's aware of those people, which I will read you some names before the end of the day too. But anyway, um, so some of that got under my radar to the extent of what was going on. But now, so I saw that and I posted a few different things from there, and I also posted another senator who kind of slickly um, reached a statement who said, where is it? Oh, this is Speaker Mac McCutcheon. He said, today I released the following statement regarding a controversial social media post by State Representative Wilbur Mutes. The Alabama House cannot police the beliefs, statements, and activities of its members outside the legislature, as that is a job best assigned for voters. So I'm going to say that I agree with part of that because part of that is true. Yes, we have to make sure that we're at those polls and we're voting. We're voting like crazy. Boy, we better. If anybody who doesn't vote, got to be out of their blinking mind. So, but there is still an accountability factor uh, within within government because we see it happen all the time. If somebody posts something that's racist, or somebody posts something that's anti-Semitic, or if anybody posts anything that's shaming, bullying, or whatever, then I see that the government is always stepping in to address those matters. But he felt, Speaker McCutcheon, which I also posted on this same post, he felt that they can't police anything. They can't. Man, come on. So everybody has an excuse. But there was also a Democrat, Danny Garrett, who actually expressed this whole thing. I cannot fathom why anyone in 2020 celebrates the birthday of the first KKK Grand Wizard and the icon and while body of civil rights icon beaten by the Klan lies at the state capitol, honored by GOP and Democratic leaders from all over the state. This mentally does not represent my party or my faith. So, and he, oh, wait a minute. You know what? I think that he is not a Democrat. He is a Republican. And, but the Democrats also put something out and so on. Hey, what's up, Tony? Good to see you, brother. So I'm chopping it up today. We're going down some of these posts and some of these things that people have said, and so what I just told you now leads to the first major point that I am going to make today. When I posted that, like I said, I was up very, very late, and then all of a sudden I decided, because I turned my Facebook off at a certain point. I have to separate myself from it at some point because I have to be able to, get some rest or whatever. And so what occurred at that point? Hold on, I'll pull it up. So what happens then is that I open up my Facebook. It's like middle of the night, and so the first thing that I get in, it kind of came out of order. So I'm going to do my best to see if I can create some type of order, but it really doesn't matter because it's all everybody saying the same, the same kind of stuff. So there was the first person that I have in line right now. So let's just say the order doesn't matter. I'm going to read you all the comments. So the first person is Michelle Gaffney Fife. That's Michelle Gaffney, Gaffney, Fyfe. Oh, before I continue, all of the people that I'm about to mention, I did invite them to come on this show. I did invite them to participate. I did invite them several times, as you know. But I invite everybody to come on before I talk about the things that they say, and because they are putting it on Facebook anyways, and I'm live streaming Facebook, then it's not a problem. Yeah, I'm not doing anything because they're putting it out there for me to see anyways. They're quote unquote my friends on Facebook. So anyways, so this person, Michelle Gaffney, Gaffney, last name Fife, Fyfe, she says, I'm confused, so he has no freedoms to do what he wants to. Even, and he's talking about that representative, Dismuke's, freedom to do what he wants to, even if we view them as unacceptable. But Black Lives Matter can burn and destroy cities, beat innocent people up, and say all whites need to die, but that's their right. So let me address that part of her statement first. So she says that that's unacceptable. She starts to try to compare the KKK with Black Lives Matter. Let me explain again. There are people out there that are doing some stupid things, that are doing some horrible things. That's not the protesters. That's not the peaceful protest. That's some idiots that need to get beat back. If they're beaten, beat them. I don't care, arrested, whatever. That's their problem. That's not the Black Lives Matters movement. So let's not twist it. But that's what happens when people start to want to do the negative thing, is they try to smush it all up together, convolute it. They hope that somebody's going to cast names or whatever. I'm not casting names. I'm just going to straighten out the order of things here. So first of all, those two groups, KKK and Black Lives Matter, there is no parallel to them whatsoever. Now, and the people that are beating people up, which trust me, a lot of that is so overblown from quote unquote your president. And so let's see, saying that all whites need to die. Whoever's saying that nothing to do with any Black Lives Matter peaceful protesters, black people. I know that, and I'm speaking on behalf of at least my black people that I at least am in touch with, and who are in touch with me, and so on in my circle, and then all of those who I can engage with. I'm speaking on behalf of black people on the fact that that is not what we are doing. We're not trying to hate all white people. My mother is white. My daughter is whiter than most of you. It's physically. So please stop trying to convolute the story. So anyways, she says that. Then she says it's justified, right? Double standard has to stop. Well, it's not a double standard because, like I said, there's no parallel to Black Lives Matter and KKK. KKK is a hate group that is oppressive, that wants to see black people die or be in some other land somewhere, even though we were brought here by white people, blah, 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 blah. Everybody knows the story. Okay. So then she says Black Panthers exist. She said, well, let's focus on idea that Black Lives Matter, KKK, Black Panthers exist. What? Again, convoluting. She put Black Lives Matter with KKK and Black Panthers. Okay. I do not advocate all three entities, which everybody has the right to tie themselves to whoever or connect or associate with whoever they want to. That's up to you. That's personal. I don't need to know. You don't need, whatever. But hold on. Wait a minute. Oops. My phone just switched off real quick. Sorry about that. Let's see. Get back to it. Right, sure. Okay, sorry about that. Modern technology. Okay, so back to her. So she says, I do not advocate all three entities, but it's their right in this country. Okay, so if you believe that it's their right, then I guess I don't know what to tell you because you're again convoluting. I think you have the right idea. Let's advocate anti-racist for all skin colors and vote in those with similar mindsets. So she ties it up with a very interesting. Uh, that's very interesting, ending or segue because anti-racist is what we want. People to be actively anti-racist. But in order to get there, people have to acknowledge the systemic, racism that exists now and why it is that way. You have to acknowledge the problem. You have to acknowledge the nucleus of the problem. You got to understand and acknowledge where it began and how it's founded underneath us, how the world was, the nation was built on it, and then how it has brought us here and how much has not been done, not how much you think has, because you're not walking in the skin of black people. So you have to acknowledge how much of it, how much has been cured, how much has been done to rid the country of racism. And if you are honest with yourself and you're honest in your studying, to seek out and talk to other black people and talk to other ethnicities and find out what actually is there and what's, a lot of white people that I express things to, they like to tell me, well, everybody has the same opportunities, everybody has the same advantage, everybody this, nobody has more, nobody has. That's not true. And if you talk to people, you can find out. You can find out the stories of people's experiences and people's lives, which will tell you that that is very untrue. That there is equal, equal, equal. That's what we're fighting for. If it was equal, we wouldn't be fighting for equal. That's a common sense thing. I'm not saying that towards her. I'm saying that to everybody in general. Okay. So anyway, so to that, I responded to her, and I said, Michelle Gaffney Fife, I invite you to offer your views, ideas, thoughts, opinions, suggestions, and experiences, along with Jesse Chastain, who is part of this thing, but I'll get to him in a minute, and Rob Adams, who, since I responded, he somehow, I guess, unfriended me because now I can't click on his name and highlight it. So I guess he definitely isn't down to have the conversation. But I said on Food for Action today or Sunday or any Wednesday or Sunday at 7 p.m. I've invited Jesse and Rob already. I would love to have this conversation with voices. Let's engage. I look forward to having you as a guest. Thank you for your input and, my symbols that I put after that. So then, Jesse Chastain, who I invited again last Wednesday, who still didn't show up, who is still trolling everything that I post and saying hateful, nasty, ridiculous things to everybody who actually is now responding to him, which I appreciate you guys responding to him. Just keep it nice, keep it, above board, keep it cool. But again, he responds, Jesse Chastain, Chasteen, says, nobody cares about your racist program or agenda. That's why you can barely scrape up 2 people to join it. Wow, that's funny. I guess he hasn't looked at Instagram and hasn't looked at the page because I think I'm at like 200 plus on the page, and I'm at let's see, on Facebook I'm at 200 and something followers already in just a few weeks. So I'm kind of not sure about what he's talking about because if you add those 2 together and they're not the same people, yeah, that's about 400 folks. So and if I told you about some of the people who are actors and actresses and singers and other music folks, producers and so on, a country group, so on, who joined in. So, but you guys will see soon that I believe that what I'm doing is fair. I believe that what I'm doing is helping. At least that's the intention, to help people bridge this, have this conversation. And let it be. Hey, Kathy, how you doing? I'm sorry I didn't get you. Yeah, Jojo Wall. Oh, man, thank you, brother. I forgot to say your name too. Yeah, false equivalent. KKK is a legitimate terrorist organization. Anyone who disagrees is ignorant to history. Black Lives Matter is simply asking to be acknowledged as equals in humanity. Thank you, sir. That is what I just finished talking about, and you are the man. High five. And Kathy Searles, I love you. And by the way, Kathy, if you can give me a shout at some point, I want to talk to you about something. Thank you so much. All right, so anyways, back to what I was saying. Again, you're listening and watching Food for Action. We're here every Wednesday and Sunday, 7 p.m. Please join the conversation. Get other people to join the conversation. This is we're fighting for lives here. We're fighting for lives. We're fighting for people to have equality and equal seats at the table. And because of racism, which started and stems from white people, that we have to get you guys to help us get over that hump so that we're not oppressed and treated unfairly in any of the systems that exist. Again, when I say systems, I'm talking about government, I'm talking about education, I'm talking about manufacturing, I'm talking about Fortune 400, 500 corporations, I'm talking about banks, I'm talking whatever, any system, financial, any system that you can think of. We need to have equality. We need to have equal schooling. We need to have equal educational tools. We need to have equal housing opportunities. We need to have equal. And it needs to be that way. It never has been that way in this country to this date. It has never, ever been achieved. We are far underachieving as a country when it comes to that. Do we appreciate this country? I love America. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm not, in certain other places. Absolutely. But guess what? Still don't have the opportunities. Still don't have the access. Look, where I live now even, my internet goes out. I have to start this stream all over again because where I live, something's wrong with proper internet scenarios, towers and whatever. So there's access. So anyways, okay, so let's get back to it. So Jesse Chastain says nobody cares about your racist program and your agenda. That's why you can barely scrape up 2 people, which I just showed you guys. I have about 400 plus. All right, so then Rob Adams joins in the conversation. He is the person who I told you since these trades off, I guess he's decided that he doesn't want to talk anymore, which is up to him. So Jesse said, and by the way, Nathan Bedford was a Democrat. First of all, before I get to Rob Adams, let me explain something about Republicans and Democrats. So, as we know, we were formed as a republic. The country was formed as a republic, and it was a democratic republic. A democratic republic is what it was. So slowly but surely through time, and I'm going to actually, instead of just giving you my interpretation, I'm actually going to give you the real deal. So, here we go. So, during the 1860s, Republicans who dominated northern states, this is how it was in the beginning. Hey, how you doing? 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 Hold on, let me say hi. If you're here, say hello. If you have any opinions whatsoever, any views, any things you want to say, please come on with it. I love you. Thank you. So during the 1860s, Republicans who dominated northern states orchestrated an ambitious expansion of federal power, helping to fund the transcontinental railroad, the state university system, and the settlement of the West by homesteaders, and instating national currency protective tariff. Democrats who dominated the South, because it was actually flipped the opposite. The South was more less government and so on, and the Democrats was more less opposing wars, opposing government dictating of what's going on, and so on. So anyways, so they opposed those things, and after the Civil War, Republicans passed laws that granted protections for African Americans and advanced social justice. Again, Democrats largely opposed these expansions of power, so they were flipped the positions of a people. And of course, in this article, it does say, sound like an alternative universe. Fast forward to 1936, Democratic President Franklin Roosevelt won re-election that year on the strength of the New Deal, a set of depression-remedying reforms, including regulation of financial institutions, foundation of welfare and pension programs, infrastructure development, and more. Roosevelt won in a landslide, and Republican Alf Landon, who opposed these exercises of federal power. Let's see. Then Republicans didn't immediately adopt the opposite position of favoring limited government. Instead, for a couple decades, both parties are promising an augmented federal government devoted in various ways to the cause of social justice. Rochway wrote in a 2010 blog for the Chronicles of Higher Education. Only gradually did Republican rhetoric drift to the counter-arguments. The party's small government platform cemented in the 1930s with its heated opposition to the New Deal. Democrats seized upon a way of ingratiating themselves to Western voters. Republican federal expansion in the 1860s and 1870s had turned to Democrats seized upon. I'm sorry, I just got that. So then both parties tried to exploit the discontent this generated by promising the little guy some of the federal largesse, and that had hitherto gone to the business sector from this point on. Democrats stuck with this stance, favoring federally funded social programs and benefits, while Republicans were gradually driven to the counterposition of hands-off government. So basically, and you guys can look these things up in Live Science. You can look it up in Wikipedia. You can look it up any normal thing that you can think of. You can find that out. So this transition still was taking place even up to the 60s and a little bit in the 70s, where these things were still, nobody was sure. It wasn't so clear-cut black and white of who was being what, and then it was like I think I don't want to misquote, so let me stop there. But so the point is, yep, Kathy, I see you. Let me finish this point, and I will put your point up here too. So the point is that when people talk about, because people like to say, oh well, so and so was a Democrat. Okay, well then do some history and understand how that is. That back then, the actual roles were flip-flopped. So what was at one point conservative was now liberal. Was then liberal, and what was liberal was then conservative. It's just flipped. So just like the other person who they brought up, might I add you. So later on in the conversation, oh my gosh, let me get back to that. So we get back to the conversation, and let's see. He said they don't want to hear. Rob Adams then says, and he's just regular Adams, Rob, R-O-B-A-D-A-M-S. He's many of y'all's friends because I've seen him, and so is Jesse Chastain. So make sure you're watching out for these things that they're saying. They don't listen to that stuff, Bubba. The left has selective hearing, and that's him speaking about Nathan Bedford being a Democrat, because they don't understand what they're actually talking about, which is, and I'm not saying it to insult, but they didn't even do the research to find out that the roles were flipped back then. And so what then was Democrats is now Republicans, and what then was Republicans is now Democrats. So anyways, and so we get to, let's see, the next part. So then we get to, let's see, so then we get to, sorry. Then we get to Jesse Chastain. He puts this kind of mean thing that's pretty, not nice. And then Rob Adams puts BLM, which he says it stands for burn, loot, murder. I guess it's a emoji thing or whatever they call them. And so he puts that up, and he gets a couple likes, and I'll tell you all the people who took place in this. And then my boy from Florida, drummer, ridiculous, amazing drummer, Chris Stokes. If you're watching, brother, wicked. Anyways, he pipes in and he says, he just makes a funny comment. He says, boo. And it's the Keenan guy from Saturday Night Live, in the comedian with the black and white thing, him saying boo. And then Chris Stokes comments to Rob, says that's cops' jobs. And I guess he's talking about to make sure, things stay in line when it comes to the Ubers and the this and that and so on and so forth. And he's my brother, cool beans. Okay, so then we move forward, and then Jesse Chastain then puts BLM. BLM supporters have now killed more blacks in a month than the police have in 35 years. Had enough yet. So obviously he has no clue, and he didn't listen to the first, one of my first shows where I actually read off a list of hundreds of people who were murdered by black men, women, and youth who were murdered by police. Again, not saying that all police are bad, not saying that all police are murderers, not saying that all police are racist. All I'm saying is to answer what he said, that 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 um, the Black Lives Matter killed more blacks. And it's not Black Lives Matter that are killing black people. There are certain people that are bad that are killing other people, whether they're black, white, or otherwise. Those people need to be punished for those things. You're trying to convolute things again. That's what people do. But again, then not Jonathan, which I love that how he does that. He says, because he's cool. He says, look at all these white racists who obviously believe every chain email their grandmothers send them, which that's kind of an insult. So I don't know, but that's what he says. I'm trying to make everything out in the open. And then Jesse Chastain says, where was the outrage when all the Democrats honored Senator Byrd, a known grand wizard of Black Lives Matters? Excuse me, of the Ku Klux Klan. Sorry about that. Okay, so he says, a known grand wizard, Black Lives Matters, seems to be selective on which lives never seen them at the abortion clinic. So before I go forward with that, I now will do what I do always, and that is give you some information about the Robert Byrd person, because I know about this because I am 51 years old, and so I understand about Robert Byrd, who, in short, was at one point in his youth, he was part of the Klan. He rose up pretty fast, and he became, he became a pretty high-ranking, Klan member. Where did I put? Well, anyways, he became a pretty high-ranking Klan member, and at that point, at which point he, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. So then he ended up becoming a little bit more raised up in the Democratic side, which was still at that point still in flux and still trying to figure out where to go here, there, or so on. And at that point, what he did was he actually changed his opinions. He flipped. He had a come to Jesus moment, and he flipped. And it's very well documented everywhere in right-wing Republican forums and Democratic forums that he, by the time he was at the end of his career, before he died, but like the height of his career, he was telling people that he regretted that the most of his whole life, of making the decision in his youth to be part of that thing. He took part in several civil rights things after, for example, he was actually famous for doing a 19-hour thing to mess up a vote in the civil rights movement. And he effectively did so. And then he apologized, and he did everything he was responsible for going across sides and bringing people together to support civil rights initiatives until the day he died. Look it up before you put those things online, because you got to understand that you're going to have to answer those things. You can't just spit out, oh, so and so was a Democrat and so is a whatever, because the evidence of these people's existence is there. It's in writing. It's in books. It's in things. And when you say those things, there's a lot of sides, I guess, to this thing that maybe don't want to acknowledge that that's what's going on. But let me tell you, dear friends, my Facebook friends, and friends all over, the information is out there. All you have to do is look. When you have an opinion or idea or a concept, and you let your ideas and things stop, and you don't grow, you don't open up to learn that there's more to each thing than maybe what you learned, if you just stop and you're satisfied with the part that agrees with you, that agrees with your beliefs, then guess what? You're going to end up messing yourself up. You're going to end up messing your own mind and your own position up, because you don't have the whole story. And you have to get the whole story before you can do do that. I mean, look, he was heralded for his amount of Michael Bridges. So he was heralded for his amount of civil rights work that he supported before he died. You guys, yeah, people can change. That's the reason that we do this. That's the reason that there are millions of people that are doing this and more. That's the reason that people are protesting peacefully. Not the bad people, not the looters, not the rioter people, but the people that are actually peacefully protesting. That's what these things are for. That's what this platform is for. It's to help everybody hopefully change their mind to where they come to a loving position, a togetherness position, a position of, of equal equality, of justice, of everybody sits at the same table. It, that's what we're fighting for here. That's what this platform is for, and that's what this conversation is for. And if we don't do that, if we don't let ourselves get into this thing, and the train is passing people by. Let me tell you. So, anyways, after he says that, then we get to a Doug Williams, good dude. He says Jesse Bird. I'm sorry, Jesse Bird was celebrated because he had a change of heart, which is the whole point of Black Lives Matters. Turn a Klansman, save the country. I mean, well said, sir. And then, so I thanked Doug, and Doug wanted me to invite him. So hopefully, Doug, you're on here checking it out. I invited him to do the same. If he wants to take part, he can too. And then, let's see, then Jesse has to write something like, LOL, he didn't have a change of heart. He just kept you as slaves through the media like the Democrats still do today. Well, Jesse, you need to go and read the history books. You need to go read things from the 80s till he died, and you will find out that you're incredibly wrong. So Michael Bridges says, you got some racist... Ooh, okay. Oh, boy. Hey, man. Michael Bridges, you don't have to say those kind of things. So he said something sarcastic, but yeah. So anyways, then my brother, Robert Big Bob Haldeman, he piped in, and he, said some stuff that just really cool, input that he had, talking about disputes and so on, which I already mentioned to you. So anyway, so these are the things that we're up against. The people we're up against this kind of malarkey. This is what folks are doing, man. They subscribe to such a hateful position, and I don't, I mean, I understand to some point, because I know some people who changed. I know some people who were pretty racist, and then they changed. They came around. They started talking. They started having a conversation. And when you have the conversation, you understand. You understand that there's going to be questions in your mind. You can't very well sit here today with all the things that are going on and not see that that there's something wrong. There's something wrong from the top of government right now, from the head of government, the man that sits in that Oval Office. There's something wrong, very, very wrong. I mean, look, I read you his post today about the I don't even want to repeat it, but the thing about housing. I mean, I never, and I guess everybody's saying this now. It's almost like a common phrase. Never thought I'd see the day when ... And it's insane, because I never did. I never thought I'd see the day where that kind of literal, outright, completely in-your-face racism is spouted out of the mouth of the President of the United States. I don't know. I'm confused. I'm so confused. Kathy, let me get to you. I learned there is a difference between the Black Lives Movement and the Black Lives Matters, Black Lives Matters movement, the Black Lives Matters organization. And Kathy, it's on the right point. The organization is behind all of it. No, 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 no. The organization is not behind the violence. Knowing people will blame the movement. Okay, so that's not it. Okay, Kathy, so let me get it. So, Black Lives Movement is not behind any violence. The organization is not behind any violence. There are certain people, black, white, and other ethnicities, that are out there doing horrible things that do not belong to that. You guys are getting fooled by the fact that certain people in the media are telling you that everybody that's out there falls under the the heading of Black Lives Matter just because they hold a Black Lives Matter sign. That's not the case. It is not the case. I mean, look, if I did like a lot of people do, uh, I would just call everybody Klan because everybody might shave their head low or whatever. I mean, come on, you can't you can't you have to look into these things, man. You got to stop. I spend a lot of time. Let me see if I get this right for you guys. I spend a lot of time listening to both sides, three sides, four sides, as many sides that are thrown in my direction. I get zero sleep because I'm constantly reading people's emails and people's posts and so on and so forth, and 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 so am literally I literally let myself let those opinions, and I read and I study, and I want to make sure when I say that something is feels wrong or I believe it's wrong or whatever, I'm going to find something to back it up. What's happening is that people are sitting there and they're listening to somebody up top who is saying something nasty, and then they're taking that person's nasty and then telling it to their friend. I heard so and so say that, and then so and so said, you know that thing that we did in elementary school where the teacher tells one student, they put you in these little big circles, and the teacher whispers something in one person's ear, and then by the time it gets to the last person's ear, it's a totally different thing because people keep on embellishing and changing and twisting and forgetting and think whatever else that goes on. So by the time the 30th person has the message that whispered to them, then the message is gone. Well, that's what's happening now. Is that you're taking people's words for it. When you see something on the news with people smashing windows of whatever you saw, that's not everybody smashing the windows. It's not the Black Lives Matter organization or people that also believe that Black Lives Matter, who also carry black BLM or Black Lives Matter signs or shirts or so on. Remember, these are hundreds of different sets of people, thousands of different sets of people all over the country who just believe the statement Black Lives Matter because for so long black lives in white America did not matter. So everybody is not the organization, and the organization is not everybody. Everybody is not the hashtag, and the hashtag is not everybody. We have one part of a big portion of us have one thing in common, and that we're black. And then there's also white people and Hispanic people and Asian American people and indigenous people and Jewish people. I mean, there's all kind of different walks of life that are people from different ethnicities that are attending these protests and that are standing up for Black Lives Mattering because they know they're the people that actually are standing with us. There are white people there that are standing with us and saying they matter, we matter. They're saying we matter. They're saying black people matter because they realize what has been done. And then there is another part of white America that does not acknowledge that. They don't acknowledge that racism even exists. They think that it was something that happened years ago, hundreds of years ago, and why are we talking about it now? That's not the case, people. Wake up. Wake up. If you want to talk about and want to really understand about black people being murdered by police or being lynched or whatever, look it up. not on your right wing site, or listening to Trump say it or his cronies. No, go to a library or get on your computer or pick up a book and see racism exists. Systemic racism exists. Violence against black people exists. We've been trying to tell you this for so long. You guys think it's just George Floyd. You guys think it's just Breonna Taylor. No, they do need to arrest those police officers that did that. And I'm going to post that thing again. But this is not new. This has been constantly going on. Just because a lot of us get up and we can smile and we can do things, and I can be part of ministry and we can do positive things, and we're smiling and I'm loving on people and so on, Kathy, because of that, that doesn't mean that racism doesn't exist. That just means that there's some of us that can still function. We have other things that we hold on to, like God, like Jesus, family, music, whatever your career is. We have other things that we can hold on to and that we can believe in, and then we can hope that our voices and our music and whatever else that we're doing in positive fashions will take hold, will have some effect on white people. So you will see that there is something wrong in America. We are in a racist state. That's what it means when I talk about trying to make a united state in America. That is because we still need to do that. It's not that way. I had a guy. Where is his post? I couldn't believe it. This really boggled my brains when I saw this. So oh my gosh, I have to find this. I wasn't gonna talk about it, but I have to tell you guys this because I couldn't believe it. I made a post on Instagram. Where is this thing? I'm gonna find it. But listen, I mean, this stuff exists, man. And I oh, here we go. I got it. This is from this guy is called like Turned Up Crew or something like this one. Where is it? I just had it. Now I lost it. All right. Well, anyways, yeah, okay, Turned Up Crew. Here we go. So I posted on Instagram, just as I did on Facebook. I posted several things with the John Lewis memorials that were happening, and one of the posts was a picture of the bridge from the side view with the horse, the carriage guy, and I don't know what he's called, so I'm sorry for that. And then you could see the flag over the coffin crossing the thing. It's a pretty view. It's just amazing. It's heart-wrenching view. And I posted this on Instagram, and a guy who he's called Turned Up Crew, and he's like a chef, I guess. So he creates all different kinds of foods, and I'm not sure what he does it for, if it's catering or if it's just something he likes to do. I haven't looked into him like that, but he follows some of the stuff that I post. And he said, bro, the more you post about racism, the more people keep it in their minds. And I was floored because Turned Up Crew guy, I believe, is like maybe Indian, or he's of a brown-skinned people, and so I'm not sure of his ethnicity, but he is a brown people, and you can see this on my Instagram, OBIE_SBTSBC, and on Instagram, and so I had to respond to this guy because I couldn't believe it. I said, brother, it's supposed to be on everyone's mind and become urgent enough to act on. We black people are still suffering, hurting, dying at the hands of white people. We are being suffocated by systemic racism. So not only should I be posting and engaging America, white America, about racism every single day, but so should every anti-racist who breathes air until racism exists no more. And then I put, it's not me that keeps racism in people's minds. It's the hateful acts, the oppressive practices and laws, brutal verbal and physical actions, systemic racism, killings, murders against black and brown people for hundreds of years and continues this very day. Thank you very much, so much for your likes. Please follow me here and on Facebook. And please check out the live stream on Facebook every Wednesday and Sunday, 7 p.m. Food for Action, presented by SBTSBC. And then I put all my websites and all that stuff. So, point is that is what's going on, and that is from more than people that there are people that literally are sitting here, black and brown people too, that are sitting here thinking, I don't know how, brainwashed, some way, shape, or form. I see them, and they're thinking that people like me and people like you are the people that are keeping racism alive. What the herb is wrong with people? What are they looking at? What do you see? What are you listening to? How do you not know that this country is in big trouble right now? And it's been in trouble. We have not made some giant leaps and bounds from slavery, since slavery, that people think have been made. No. We're just actually being acknowledged as black people and people that can be productive in society, but we're not at the table. We get handouts. We get a couple. Come on, man. Listen, anybody who doesn't admit this is blind, deaf, and what's that old picture? So, the monkeys with the hands and the eye, all that stuff. Hear no evil, see no evil, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, so I see your post, Kathy, you're saying that's what you were saying by that. But it is different, because what you said is that you learned there's a difference between the Black Lives Movement and the Black Lives Matters organization. The organization is behind all the violence, but that is not correct. The organization, nor anybody that is actually standing up for and fighting for equality in the name and using the phrase of Black Lives Matter, none of those people have anything to do with violence or vandalism or looting or any of that. That are some other people that are criminals that are doing that stuff. People that are smashing stuff and beating stuff and hurting people and whatever else they're doing. Those people have nothing to do with any of the protest whatsoever. They got nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. They got nothing to do with the hashtag. They got nothing to do with any of it. Let me say that again. They have nothing to do with any of it. People who are telling you that are lying to your face, lying to your televisions, lying to your computers, lying to your phones, iPhones and Android, and whatever the heck else is out there. Come on, man, people, wake up. Racism exists. Repeat after me. I mean, come on, this exists. This is horrible, and it exists. I know you didn't say that racism doesn't exist, Kathy. That's not what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you, Kathy, is that the Black Lives Matter movement, nor any of the people, has anything to do with it. The organization is not Marxist. You said that part, so let me explain that again. Two of the people, I don't know if it's all three, but I know of two, who actually learned some of the Marxist principles of the Marxist, which actually, in some eyes, are pretty relevant. Of things about having ownership of property, having ownership of where you work, having ownership of the land that you work on, and the things that you create, and so on and so forth. That's the part that is taken, that they have kind of hijacked and put into here. It's not their Marxist. That, again, is people convoluting the idea of what they're doing because it's become so powerful. And people that are racist do not like to see anybody that they're trying to oppress. They don't like to see it becoming so big. It gets people nervous when people get stronger and bigger and have more numbers and have more protesters. And what do you think Trump is trying to pull out all these military and so on and so forth, into Seattle and into Oregon and all that. Why do you think that's happening? Because there's too many thousands of people standing up for us and with us. That's the problem. And yes, I do believe that Trump has significant racist, how do I say it? He has significant racist leanings. He showed us again today with that pathetic thing that he put, that horrible, disgusting thing about housing that he put in Twitter. And let me read it again because it pissed me off so bad. I almost wanted to, man, I wish I could have jumped through the phone, but I am not that kind of person. I used to be, but I am not that way anymore. But let me read this crap. Can I say crap? I hope that don't make anybody upset. But I couldn't believe this crap that Trump put on Facebook. I mean on Twitter today. He put at 12:19 p.m. today. He put, "I am happy to inform all of the people living in their." Hold on a second. So he's actually dividing the suburban folks from him because he's saying, "I'm happy to inform all of the people living their suburban lifestyle dream." So he's saying that the lifestyle of being in the suburbs is supposed to be the dream for somebody. Nobody, I guess we're not supposed to dream of being millionaires or whatever else, but that's left to interpretation. So, okay, I am happy to inform Donald Trump says, "I am happy to inform all of the people living their suburban lifestyle dream that you will no longer be bothered or financially hurt by having low-income housing built in your neighborhood." And he followed that up by saying, "Your housing prices will go up based on the market, and crime will go down. I have rescinded the Obama-Biden AFFH rule. Enjoy!" Exclamation point. Now you tell me that that is not a racist thing to say outright. Because he's not talking about, look, he's not, when he talks about the housing, low-income housing being built, who are the majority of people that are unfortunately in low-income housing these days? Somebody please tell me. Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? That's what we're dealing with. So while everybody wants to sit there and try to, pretend it's this and pretend it's that, no, it is not. Black people are not making this stuff happen. It's not black people. Even the people that are doing the horrible things, which I don't like those things that some people are doing, and they're white, black, and every other nationality that are doing some of those looting things that have nothing, again, to do with Black Lives Matter. Neither the organization or people that stand for Black Lives Mattering, the essence of that, there is, even those people, listen, the bad people, even some of those people are fed up. And they don't know another way. They're choosing the wrong way. But that's what they're doing. Kathy, if you let me know what you disagree with, I would appreciate that. That would be awesome. Love you. My brother, Jeannie Joseph, an example of someone in denial that wants to remain in comfort denial. That's correct. So, I mean, people have to get really real and understand what is happening in society. There is a reason that people are out there. There is a reason that thousands of people, and again I said, yes, did George Floyd's murder spark some of this? Absolutely. Did it ignite some stuff that's been stewing and steamed up for hundreds of years? Absolutely. Did it incite a bunch of younger people who didn't get to experience a lot of this before, that never saw this, who might have been told and kept from this, some of these new millennials and so on, are they now pissed off too? Because they're saying, wait a minute, we don't have those hatred things, that we don't stand for that. What the heck is going on? Why are they doing that to black people? Come on, man. Bueller, I don't know why I keep saying that, because that's the thing from that movie, Classroom. Kathy, I really love you, and I want to know what you disagree about, because maybe I've explained it in a way that maybe I need to explain it differently. I want to do that. I don't want to have anything left in the air where people don't understand what's going on in America right now. What there are things that are deficient right now in the understanding of racism in America. Who uh, There are people that are choosing not to understand, not to see. I will listen. Here's what we'll do. Maybe I can get a group of people together to after. Remember, I talked about challenging. I was challenging everybody, and I think I even did a post about it this week. I said, yeah, people are do the water challenge and the ice challenge and bucket challenge and all these other challenges. Stand on your head and stand on your hands and take off a shirt with your feet challenge and all that stuff. And I said, why don't we do um, a uh, fight racism with your black friends challenge? Why don't we do that? Why don't we do the fight racism challenge? Why don't we take it a little bit further? Why don't you spend a couple days with some black folks? Invite me over. We can trade recipes. We can trade thoughts. We can trade music. We can do all kind of stuff. Like I told you, my mom's white. Trust me, I got the best of both worlds in me. But spend a couple days with black people. Spend a couple days in the hood. Spend a couple days, you can't speak on and can't claim to know it if you never walked it. If you never lived amongst it, you can't do it. It's impossible. I don't know what it feels like to be a millionaire, so I'll never talk about millionaire stuff, except for the fact that I'd love to be one day. That train might have passed me, I don't know, but I won't talk on it because I don't know it. So why is it that so many white people think they know about being oppressed, about being the targets of racism, about being profiled, about being about black people being lynched, about the educational system being less than? Why is it that so many white people have great opinions about that, but yet they have not experienced it? I can't get it. I don't understand it at all. I'm so confused. Is there something? Is there like a card or a license or something that I've missed that I don't know about that exists that says that when you're white, you can speak on behalf of everybody that exists? I mean, look. Oh, here we go again. My video is messed up, so I'm gonna have to. Here I go. Yep, video messed up. I'm gonna come right back. Y'all stay tight. I'll be right back. Right back. Joe, stay tight. I'm gonna talk about what you said too. I'll be right back.